Hi everyone, it's David Hensley. Thought I'd take a few minutes out of my workday running Quantico Tactical to make a quick video. As I was on my way home from work yesterday, I was listening to the radio and I heard Vice President Pence quote Lincoln. And I got to thinking about that quote from Lincoln made 150 years or so ago and how it applied to the Moore County Board of Education race. But before I talk about that, I'd like to talk a little bit about this picture. I bring this picture up. Obviously, that's Vice President Pence on the left. The next person over is me looking rather dapper. To my left is Lisa, my wife, and Congressman Hudson somehow got in my picture. The reason I show this picture, and this will be the topic of an upcoming video, is I know these people and I work with legislators in Washington, D.C. I know our local state legislators. And when I'm elected to the Board of Education, I'm going to take these contacts that I have at both the federal, state level, and business contacts and friends I have to benefit the students, teachers, and taxpayers of Moore County. But that's the topic of a different program. The quote that Vice President Pence cited for Lincoln was when Lincoln said in the 1860s, "Let them know the truth and the country is safe." Lincoln, of course, when he said, "Let them know the truth," he, of course, was referring to the American people, because Lincoln had the same problem getting the truth to the American people as we do today with the media. And when he said, "and the country is safe," he was referring to his faith in the American people, that if they knew the truth, then they would make the correct decision at the ballot box. I too believe the same thing, and I have faith and confidence in my fellow citizens that if they know the truth, then they'll make the correct decisions. So the Moore County corollary is let Moore County citizens know the truth, and the citizens will replace the Board of Education. David Hensley, circa last night. Lincoln was right when he said that, and so therefore so am I. So we're going to spend the next several weeks doing just that. I'm going to make a series of videos showing the issues at Moore County schools, exposing the truth that newspapers like the Pilot refuse to do. And more importantly, I'm going to show how us working together, the citizens of Moore County, the parents, the faculty, the staff, working together, business leaders from all over the country that all will bring in to help, how together we can fix these issues and give the children of Moore County the education they believe. As I do these videos, you'll be shocked at the scandals, the waste, the failures of the current Moore County Board of Elections. Some people will say, "Gosh, you shouldn't bring that up." But the fact of the matter is, you cannot fix issues unless you can have a serious, genuine conversations about what the issues are. And so far, the Board of Education and the Pilot won't do that. By the way, you're going to see people coming out defending the status quo and current school board. When you see that, every time you see that, you need to ask yourself, why would these people be defending a Board of Education which has given Moore County academically failing schools? Moore County has 5 D-rated schools, 10 C-rated schools, and no A-rated schools. None. Well, that's not true. The only A-rated school in Moore County is the Academy of Moore, which is a charter school. But this Board of Education has given us 5 Ds, 10 Cs, and 0 A-rated schools. Why would someone defend that? This Board of Education has given us nothing but constant budget overruns. They've given us intrusive and illegal student surveys. That will be the topic of a different video. Several years ago, Moore County made national news not by having the best school system in North Carolina, which is what we should have, but rather we made national news because Moore County lost 100% of the ATC scores for an entire year. Not one student's ACT score, not one session of the ATC score, but they lost all the sessions of all the ACTs for all the students in Moore County. And no one was held accountable. Not one person in the central office was held accountable for this. This Board of Education has resulted in a complete lack of accountability or responsibility throughout the Moore County school system. Why would someone defend this? Another question I want you to ask yourself is, why would the people who defend and the Board of Education fear me and fight vehemently to keep myself and Bob Levy off the Board of Education? Let's take Bob Levy. Bob Levy is he's a long-term resident. He was born and raised in the Sand Hills. Very, very successful career as an attorney, a small businessman, and even as an educator. He has experience in solving complex legal issues. He has experience in litigation. He has experience in negotiating land contracts and all kinds of contracts in the tens and hundreds of millions of dollars. Why would they fear that experience? If they were serious about improving things, they would welcome that experience. Let's take me. My background is I spent 20 years in the Marine Corps. I traveled the world. I led Marines and educated Marines from all different walks of life, from people from the upper rung all the way down across the entire social economic spectrum. I deployed with those Marines. I trained with those Marines. I lived with those Marines. I learned about those Marines. After I retired in the Marine Corps, I started a handful of companies. I've been very, very fortunate in that they're wildly successful. For the past 16 years, I've been a businessman who's started and founded companies that now have revenue approaching $1 billion. I deal with budgetary issues. I deal with worldwide logistics. I've built out facilities around the world. I've dealt with employees. I've dealt with budgets well over $500 million. Why wouldn't the Board of Education and why wouldn't people who are truly serious about improving our schools welcome this type of experience, welcome the diversity that Bob and I bring to the Board of Education? We bring not superficial diversity that some people want to focus on. And by superficial diversity, I mean diversity of skin color, diversity of gender. When I talk about diversity, I talk about true diversity, diversity of experience, diversity of education, diversity of background. So ask yourself, if somebody really wanted to improve education in the Moore County school system, why wouldn't they welcome true experienced businessmen with demonstrated track records of success in building companies approaching $1 billion? Why would they not welcome that experience on the Board of Education? When I'm on the Board of Education in Moore County, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to produce academic results, not excuses. I will ensure fiscal discipline and responsibility. And oh, by the way, let's go back to that first point. People who don't produce results will either produce results or I will find someone who can produce the results that our children and parents deserve. And I will not accept 5D rated schools, and I will not accept 10 C rated schools. I will ensure there's one standard for all with no favoritism shown. There will be no political cronyism and there will be no favoritism whatsoever when I'm on the Board of Education. I will ensure that standards are set and they're, again, uniformly enforced. I will hold people accountable for their actions. I will ensure that our children have the leaders and role models which set the example and with whom they can look up and respect. And by the way, it's not just our children that need leaders and role models. It is the teacher, it's the faculty and staff of Moore County who deserve leaders that they can look up to, they can trust, and they can respect. Anyway, that's all I got for today. I just want to do a quick video. I appreciate everybody, and everyone have a good day. Thank you.